Hey, Chase.
Hey,
Welcome to
the basement.
Movie Hosers. I'm going to try to be calm today because I'm in a Quentin Tarantino mood.
Forehead.
Quentin Tarantino has a crescent moon head.
I don't know, man.
You don't like his
chin and like his face.
Yes.
Makes like okay.
Like a shovel.
I see what you're saying.
He's the original shovel face.
Yeah.
Because it's like the moon with his tiny little face in it. Like, doesn't it seem like that? Like, his face is, every single movie, his face gets bigger. And his features don't spread apart. They just stay small in front of his face.
It's like his hair is receding and his forehead just gets larger and eventually takes over his entire face.
Eventually, he'll be all face and no features. You won't see the eyes or the nose. So we had a special screening of Hateful Eight.
Yeah, special?
Yeah, special, sure. And this is the 8th movie of his, I think. Number 8? I have my paperwork here. I think this is number 8.
That would be quite the coincidence.
That it's Hateful. Hateful 8.
I think that was the artistic direction that they went with the title.
That's awesome.
Yes.
So
who's in this movie?
People.
Dad.
Good people.
You have your notes right there.
I do have my notes.
You're
Hateful Eight.
Gonna say who's even in the movie.
Has come out theaters wide.
Theaters wide?
It's out Friday wide. And we watched it, and
Friday
it
wide butthole.
Has a number of great actors in it.
Yes.
Like Samuel Jackson.
Yes.
Who has
it.
been in a lot of his other movies. It is. They made the preview look like there's all these actors, but apparently it's Samuel Jackson inside of he gets trapped in an outhouse within the first 5 minutes of the film, and that's the rest of the movie. Just him saying, "Get me out of this mother effing." Did I say restroom or outhouse?
Outhouse.
I've already forgotten.
Out of this Outback steak and grill.
So he's in it.
Kurt Russell.
Kirk Russell. Kurt Russell. Elderly Kurt Russell is in it.
Yeah.
Who's amazing.
Yeah.
And Jennifer Jason Leigh is in it. Who's been around forever, and we've seen her in everything, but you just don't know her. Like, no. She's like one of these actresses that's in everything, but you don't go, "Oh, there's Jennifer Jason Leigh."
You're just like, yeah, you've been in movies.
Yeah, she's good. And Walton Goggins.
Walter Goggins?
It's Walton.
Walton
Goggins.
Is it?
Yeah, I was going to say Walter.
I thought it was Walter.
We'll call him Walter. Walter Goggins.
Well, the Gogster.
He's probably now one of my more favorite actors.
He was good. I didn't even know it was him until I looked at his face.
So Samuel Jackson gets, I think, first billing. Kurt Russell gets second billing. I think Jennifer Jason Leigh gets third billing. Yeah. And Walter Goggins gets fourth. When the movie is a lot of Walter Goggins, actually.
Yeah.
And he's awesome.
He was great.
It's got a bunch of other actors in it. It's funny because...
Tim Roth?
Tim Roth, who was also in Reservoir Dogs.
Yeah.
And I think he might have been in... I think he was in some other Tarantino movies. He's... Tim Roth is the hangman. Michael Madsen, who was also in Reservoir Dogs.
Bruce Dern.
He's the ear cutter guy.
Oh. Bruce
Dern. Yeah, he's the guy that did the dance and cut the ear off the cop.
did the dance with the no pants.
Michael Madsen is a cow puncher. I never bothered to look up what that is. I'm just taking it literally. That probably in the Wild West, there were guys that says, "You need a cow puncher." How's my Michael Madsen impression?
It's pretty good.
Do you need a cow puncher?
That's good, actually.
I'm Joe Gage, the cow puncher.
The cow puncher?
I'll punch out your cows, your pigs, your wife, your children. Is that a baby? I'll punch that baby.
That thing.
I was going to say effing baby, but I forgot this is it's a Tarantino film, so it's rated G.
No, no, it's not.
No, not at all.
It's a lot of blood.
Michael Madsen plays an elderly man with soy sauce hair. He's got jet black hair. This movie, which really was bothering me a lot.
Really? I didn't find it that bad.
I mean, it wasn't that bad, but he kept running his fingers through it and stuff, like he's in like a salon commercial.
At least it's not as
Look
bad
at
as
my hair.
It wasn't as bad as Shane rubbing the back of his head in The Walking Dead, was it?
Oh, Shane. Yeah.
Remember, like every other second, he'd just be rubbing his head
Or scratching his nutsack.
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't like that. Bruce Dern has been around for freaking ever, and you can tell.
Yes.
Because apparently they built this set around him. He was Bruce Dern was sitting in a chair, an old chair, and Quentin Tarantino says, "Can we build this set around you?" Because he barely moves. He doesn't even move.
No, he moves once.
He moves once. Yeah. James Parks is in it. Elderly, kindly old James Parks, who what's his face? Fat Kevin Smith works with a lot. Channing Tatum.
He's in it for like.
He's in it briefly.
5 minutes, maybe.
And he does all right, I guess.
He's good.
He's all right. Yeah. Yeah, he's he's cracking wise.
I was
like
concerned
21 Jump
about
Street.
if he was going to have a convincing accent, and I can say he was quite convincing with the accent.
Did he do a Wild West kind of accent?
Oh, Southern.
But he was all right.
Yeah, it was good.
He wasn't
like,
offensive. I don't know some of these other people. I know Zoe Bell. She's awesome. Six Horse Judy.
Six Horse Judy.
She's a she's like an Australian stunt woman by trade, eh?
She's
huge and kicks ass.
She's huge.
She's huge in Japan. I don't know. Huge, I mean in terms of I think she's tall. She's a tall drink of water.
Is that
She's got stems. Dame's got some stems.
Is that blonde chick?
Yes.
Okay, she gets like killed in every Quentin Tarantino movie.
Yeah, she gets her face blasted off, and then she goes and seeks revenge. Craig Stark.
I don't think that's
Tony Stark's dad's in this.
Oh yeah.
And Quentin Tarantino does narrating. We were wondering where that big giant moon face was. Apparently, he plays the moon in the movie, and that's why when you looked up, you remember in Teletubbies, the son used to giggle and stuff.
Yeah.
He's the moon, and he's narrating. You see the mouth moving on the moon. It's Quentin Tarantino.
The only features he has left is his eyes and his mouth.
Can't even read this anymore.
What do you mean?
That's right. They would have liked David Carradine to be in this, but he hung himself because he's weird. So there's a lot of great actors in this thing.
Yeah.
And the thing that I liked about this movie was in Django Unchained, which was his last one, it was a very linear story. You followed the characters from the beginning all the way to the end, straight through, which I liked. It was all right. I didn't have a problem with that. I thought it was a great movie. Pulp Fiction was like a chapter kind of a movie where it bounced around a lot in the timelines would change. So
it was kind of branched.
Yeah, and I like that. And so I found that this one was like Pulp Fiction in that it was 6 chapters, and they weren't all. You all right? They were.
What?
You're not feeling too good.
What?
Oh no, your chair's making some.
Oh no, I'm flicking the foam.
Oh, I thought you were
the foam.
That you're fatting. I thought it was like
fatting.
It was like. I thought you were like. That you're preparing for a takeoff.
Chapter 6 was a
Black Man, White Hell, and
great name. Great chapter name.
It was cool because the movie. I guess we don't want to give away too many spoilers or anything, but I mean, the movie is basically. Well, you saw in the preview that Kurt Russell seems to be like the main character, and he's got this chick handcuffed to him. He's bringing her in for a hanging, and he's like not the hangman, but he likes to bring them in to watch them hang.
Yes.
Right? And she's got the crap beat out of him, presumably by...
Beat out of her.
Beat out of... Did I say him?
Yes. She's got the crap beat out of him.
It's so old. By Kurt Douglas. Kurt Douglas? Kurt Douglas?
Kurt Douglas.
Name? Kurt Russell.
Kurt Russell.
I can take my glasses off. I can't see. Kurt Russell beat her up. I guess she's not a good person.
No.
But you never figure out what it is she did, besides being in a gang.
No, I'm pretty sure she was a murderer.
Really?
I think that's what they said, yeah.
$10,000 on her head.
Yeah, that's a lot back then.
Yeah. So he's bringing her in to Red Rock for a hanging.
Quite the bounty.
I guess not just a hanging, but a trial, which I guess they'll hang her at some point after the trial.
She's a witch.
So he could have brought her in dead or alive. He decides to bring her in alive. Where they bump into Lawrence Fishburne.
Samuel Jackson.
Samuel Jackson.
Yeah. who stole the movie for me, honestly.
Really?
He was great.
He ends up being sort of the center
He
of
was
the movie.
he was awesome in this movie. Holy crap.
He was a lot of fun in this movie. Some people don't like him. I guess they figure he's like a one-trick pony, but Quentin Tarantino shows us again the kinds of performances he can get out of these people.
It's amazing. This was a surprisingly funny movie too. Like it had us laughing at the weirdest parts.
I said to you later on. I was about 3/4 of the way through the movie, and a big light bulb came on in my head, and I realized, Quentin Tarantino probably makes my favorite comedies.
Yeah,
he makes some of the funniest goddamn scenes. I want to tell the scene to the people, but I don't know if I should.
Is that the Channing Tatum one?
That's good.
That's really funny.
The Stagecoach one was my favorite.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
Because stupid Samuel Jackson has a letter from Abraham Lincoln, and stupid Kurt Russell is handcuffed to this woman, and he's got the letter, Kurt Russell, and she spits on it.
Yeah.
And then the funniest scene happens, in my opinion, after that. I don't know.
I liked the Channing Tatum one more.
Really?
Yeah, it was so unexpected, though.
He surrendered too slow.
Well, he didn't surrender fast enough.
That was the greatest thing ever. So they got to take her in for a trial, but a storm is approaching. They bump into Samuel Jackson.
It's a blizzard.
Blizzard, yeah, because they're out in they're out in the northern part of the states, I guess, in wintertime.
Probably.
And his horse is dead, so they end up picking up Samuel Jackson. They bump into stupid Walton Goggins, who's like he plays such a real bumpkin, like a Southern Confederacy kind of a
real
racist piece of garbage. Like they don't like him because he just comes across as just this idiot.
Yeah, moron. He's like, I'm the sheriff.
Yeah. And Kurt Russell's like, this guy's as stupid as like hammers or something, and he just doesn't like him. But they end up having to take him because they can't leave him behind, because if the sheriff dies, they'll be in trouble.
Yeah, because he has a witness, which is the
stupid stagecoach driver.
Guy, yeah.
So they almost make their way to Red Rock, but they have to stop at, I guess, Minnie's Inn, some sort of a haberdashery. Which is like haberdashery, I think, is like clothes and food and all kinds of like knickknacks or whatever.
Knick-knack, paddywhack.
And I guess Minnie's not there.
Yeah. Ooh.
And there's all these other characters. So there's like Joe Gage is there, and stupid Tim Roth is there, and a bunch of characters are there.
Yeah.
And so, and that's it. And then the movie ends.
No, not really.
And the storm hits.
Yeah.
And they're trapped inside. And
then Kurt Russell suspects that one of the men inside the haberdashery is working with her.
And he's I won't say. He's just, he's wrong. And
he's wrong, and they all go their separate ways.
Yeah, and I'm sitting there going, come on,
there's
man.
no blood whatsoever.
There's nothing. It's ridiculous. This movie was a bloodbath. It was hilarious, though.
I feel like in every Quentin Tarantino movie, someone's head just gets exploded open.
He has bullets that manage to blow people's heads like clean off and stuff, which is weird.
Well, it wasn't like in this movie the head didn't like come clean off. It was like the face exploded. Because in Inglourious Bastards,
do faces explode?
Probably.
No.
Brad Pitt like shot up Hitler in the face, and his face was all gross. They were like, doo doo doo. It's like they're clearly shooting that doll, and it's like, oh, that's cool.
That was funny. So it's interesting because the movie kind of starts out, you're following the characters, but then they also go, the previous day this happened, then this happened. So you have all these. It's kind of like a mystery. It's an action mystery suspense, and they're filling in the holes as you go along.
Yes.
You notice? No? Yeah.
Filling in those holes.
Filling in all those holes. And
all of those holes.
One reviewer said that the Jennifer Jason Leigh in it, you can't really take your eyes off her, and I kind of agree, because she's so beat up and covered in blood half the time, but she's amazing to watch.
Yeah,
like, wasn't she awesome?
She's good. She's good in that movie.
And then, as we said, Walton Goggins surprised us because he's a bumpkin,
Gogster, but
he sort of redeems himself and becomes a really cool character. In the movie.
Yeah,
I'm starting to like this guy. I think this guy's
the laugher.
Cool. The laugher from stupid
American Ultra.
Yeah. I've been wanting Quentin Tarantino to do a Western. I've been wanting him to remake High Noon, which is a Western about a sheriff who's retiring, and some guys are coming to his town to kill him, some outlaws, and he decides to face them, but everybody in the town is too cowardly to help him, so he has to face them alone. And in the end, there's like a big shootout and stuff. So the whole movie is building up to this last like 20 minutes of a shootout. And this movie kind of reminded me of that, because there's all this dialogue and all this suspense, and then bits of action happen.
Yeah.
Like in the latter second half of the movie. Like there's still some action that happens throughout it.
Yeah.
But the majority of it happens later on.
Yeah.
Like all the craziness goes on.
How long was this movie? Like 3 hours?
This movie was very long.
It's very long.
And people are complaining, saying it was a bore fest, saying it's one of his weakest movies. And I'm going, you know what? Like,
this was good. Like, the dialogue was quite interesting.
Like
actually.
I said, if Samuel Jackson had been trapped in the outhouse for 3 hours, as long as Quentin Tarantino wrote dialogue for it, it would be awesome.
Just talking to himself.
Yeah, it would be so good.
Talking to the toilet.
Like, it's just... movies, it was reminiscent of Reservoir Dogs in that they're trapped in one place.
Yes.
For the majority of the movie. And Quentin
it's like
Tarantino,
previously, how they got trapped there, you know, with these characters.
Where these people come from.
Yeah.
They just do a fantastic job. And
why do I have to be called Mr. Pink?
Yeah, exactly. And they do that in this movie too. They start giving themselves code names and stuff. And,
no, that's not. No.
And there's a scene where Bruce Dern... Did you notice the scene where he actually has an iPad? They forgot to cut that out of the scene. He's like screwing around on iPad. And then there's a scene where you actually hear Quentin Tarantino yell action. And it's like, come on, you're getting lazy. You're not even cutting that out of the film.
You can see him there with the camera, and he's like...
Yeah. In the mirror, he's filming. And you see a shadow, like Cool Cat. You know, the...
Cool Cat shadow?
Cool Cat's in it.
Ugh.
So, yeah, I don't know what else to say about this. It was like this lemon of a movie.
It was beautiful. The movie. It was like the scenery. Yeah.
It was filmed at anamorphic 70mm, which apparently makes it really big.
Anthropomorphic.
Yes, it makes it really big, and a lot of theaters can't show this.
Oh wow, really?
Because they don't have the film equipment to show it.
That's
this guy filmed it in this really massive ultra widescreen, and nobody can watch it. So he's insane. He's all pissed off.
Well, but don't be stupid, Quentin Tarantino. Come on.
Yeah, don't be stupid. I'm just trying to look through my notes here and see if there's anything else good. It's getting like 70% on Rotten Tomatoes, which I think is low for a Quentin Tarantino film.
That's ridiculously low. It should be way higher than that.
And it's too bad that it's so low. It should be.
The atmosphere was good too, like the way it made you feel cold.
I agree. The cabin has no insulation.
It's like you can see the snow. You can see the snow coming through the wood. It's like
yeah.
You can.
It's crazy, and they have to wear like furs inside. Because it's so bloody cold. You see the cold air coming off their breath and stuff.
Yeah.
And whatnot.
You see them walk in, none of them take off their coats because it's way too cold.
Yeah. So it's fun. It's a fun movie, and it's hilarious.
Yeah, actually.
It's actually hilarious. And it's also kind of depressing because it's typical of a Quentin Tarantino. Like Reservoir Dogs did not necessarily have a happy ending, did it?
No.
It was kind of like... But it's kind of cool, too, because I wondered all along what, maybe Samuel Jackson is up to something. Like, you didn't really know,
you didn't know
who was up to what.
Who was telling the truth and who was lying. And
yeah. Oh, yeah, and Kurt Russell, you figure he's going to be just this powerful character throughout. And we watched Bone Tomahawk, and his role was reminiscent of Bone Tomahawk.
Yeah.
He's like certain character.
He's just kind of there.
But he's effed up pretty good.
Yeah, it's like he's the tough guy, but then he ends up just kind of biting it pretty early.
Yeah, and
you're like, what?
Yeah, it was really sad to see. Because I love... what did you think of him in this movie? He was awesome.
He was quite a commanding presence.
He just kept beating the crap out of her.
I know, it was funny, though.
She would talk and
she would just say like awful things, and he just like shut up and punch her.
Yeah.
Like he elbowed her in the nose once.
And I said to you, this movie's going to offend some people, and you said no, they're offended by the N-word.
Yeah, they said the N-word a lot, but it was like that's the times.
But how do you get offended by the N-word and not offended by a guy beating the hell out of a woman on there? Like, People are ridiculous, eh? It's okay to beat a woman up, but to say the N-word?
That word offended me.
That's just
Good
stupid.
sir.
It was all good.
It was...
It was all good. Except the part where Samuel Jackson is talking to the general. That was like such a way over the top narrative or dialogue he had with him. I was so like, funny. Oh my god. I don't
funny though.
I don't even know if I believe that happened. He was just getting the old guy so riled up.
It was so funny.
It was.
My big black pecker.
Yeah. I just like, oh my god, like. But you know what? That movie, it was funny because all throughout the movie, Samuel Jackson is talking about how basically how blacks aren't accepted.
Yeah.
And this is like, what year would this be? Early 1800s, if that? Like it
Abraham Lincoln.
Yeah.
Probably recently died because it's like after the Civil War.
Just
right?
after the Civil War. So I don't know American history. So I'm assuming this is probably like 200 AD or something.
1400 something. I don't know.
Because America's pretty goddamn old. It's like 1470s.
Yeah, 1470s. I don't know how old.
I don't know. But anyways. The funny thing is when you look at the American political, the way the Americans are now in 2015,
insane.
They're no different than they were just after the Civil War. Hate the black people, beat the hell out of the women.
Want the Wild West back.
Yeah, and you can watch this movie and Samuel Jackson has all these things he says, and you go, oh, these are just 2015 Americans.
Yeah,
they're all racist. They're racist. They hate them. Yeah,
we're getting political now.
No, but but the scene with Donald Trump, though. There's a scene. Donald Trump plays a stagecoach driver.
His hair keeps falling off.
And the wind hits, and his hair goes flying back.
He's got like a comb over.
Yeah, and he used the N-word the most.
Oh yeah, that's all he said. That's his only line of dialogue.
Whoa, knee, whoa, and whoa, and. And he's like, I have to go to the end. I have to take a big fat N. It's like, what? Jesus. Donald.
That's like a president I can vote for.
All right.
Well, yeah, solid.
Gotta
rate this, I guess.
Solid took.
That's a solid.
What would you have given Django?
I don't know, like a 9.
That one was fun. That was a 9.
I'd give this one a 9.
I'd give this one a solid 8.8 toques. Because I can't give it a 9. Okay. You give it a 9 toques.
Great.
All right.
Yeah.
That's our thing.
Yeah.
That's it.
Yeah.
Enjoy it. Go watch it. Friday wide. Friday wide.
Wide. Yeah, because it only comes out in select theaters.
Yeah. In ultra anamorphic wide.
Anthropomorphic wide.
Anthropomorphic wide.
Subscribe, I guess.
Subscribe.
We don't know how to end videos.
All right. And like, comment.
And like.
Yeah.
And like.
All right.
Yes. It's still going.
Cheers.
Look at that.
Yeah.
It's still going.
Yeah. It's going.
Yeah.